Okay, so nobody's getting the truth from the mainstream media, folks. It's well past time to open your eyes, your ears and your mind. Do your own research because something isn't right here. And if you can't see that, you are not paying attention, folks.
It's the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. Now that's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
The important message that we need Australians to get vaccinated as quickly as possible. In line with that, I do encourage all Australians to please go and book your vaccinations as soon as you can if you haven't already done so.
Emma, get away!
When we are successful and resilient, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Okay, we need to stand up against this tyranny, folks. Stop giving away your freedoms and liberties, because the more you give up, the more these people will take until you have absolutely nothing left. That's their agenda. Okay, good evening once again, my fellow patriots. Stop the rot, sack the lot. Well, guys, when we put that together 5 years ago, how did we even realise that at this present time we would be trying to stop the rot and actually sack the lot? It's pretty crazy, really. But we did. We're here, and the battle's on, guys. And had a good catch up with Wanzi this morning. Brad, yeah, I think we done a quick 45-minute show this morning. If no one's seen that, maybe go and watch that later, guys. That was pretty good. The Who's having a meltdown, and we got two guests trying to get into the studio, guys, just to have a quick update, right? And that's Dev, Lee, and Craig from the video about Wollongong Police Station. They're having a bit of trouble getting in, which doesn't surprise me. But anyway, but yeah, what I want to show you guys is what this is doing, this mission statement, right? Because what we need to do is find everybody, all right, and all come together. Okay, got the WOG stuff going now, right? I got the hands going. I'm talking now. I mean something now, all right? So, you know what this has done is Craig has now met this lady Helen and this lady Margaret. You know what I mean? And now, you know, from some things that we wanted and we asked them about, which we instigated through Craig, we're actually expanding this a little bit further, guys. So I quickly spoke last night about how we could get these brochures and do a big letterbox drop. All right. Now, we may be able to do this a few other ways, right? We've got a few discussions to have, guys, because this is on. This is game on. Okay. We've been given something that we now know the police are backpedaling on. All right. And they really know that we're pushing on very tender ground for them, but very solid ground for us. Okay. So we've got to keep going with it. We've got to do this. So hopefully these guests are going to get in. While we're waiting, let's just have a look at a couple of things. Well, the Victorian government's just giving you a rundown on where they're putting their cities. Victorian government unveils 24 more areas where it wants 25 more areas where it wants to add high-rise living. So the push is on to get the cities in shape for 2030, guys. That's exactly. Now, God help us all. Infectious disease experts panic after Trump FDA cancels vaccine meeting. Trump is just trolling these guys and putting the cutters through them, man. What the fuck do we even need vaccines for? We don't need any vaccines. The good Lord gave us everything that we need. He tells us. He told us in the scriptures, right? There's nothing to be added, right? It's all here for you, all right? The devil just got into play with it, guys, all right? So, again, why do we even need a vaccine schedule? We don't. We don't. Well done, Trump. All right, the jumping car thefts, guys. I would not be buying new cars. That's just my little advice to you, all right? You know, they're coming out with technologies on how to break into them so these young guys can just take them. You know, this is all by design, guys. All right, all by design. Every part of your life is designed against you. Every part of it. All right, because they've held the upper hand for so long. But don't buy new cars, guys. I'm serious, man. Do not buy them. Yeah, let's all go back to getting 1980s Corollas or something. I'm telling you, with a chain drive, we'll all go a lot further. Anyway. Robins Island wind farm a step closer after a Supreme Court appeal dismissed. So Robins Island, which is at the state's northwest coast, Tasmania's northwest coast, and they want to whack in 100 turbines. So, yeah, you got to get moving, Tasmania. You can't let them do it. All right, we've just got to keep stopping them, guys, and that's what our job is. That's what we're here to do. Where are the men? An Aussie's icon plea after a radio scandal. Now, I'm going to have a chat on this, a quick one. All right, it won't be too long. But this involves what? The Matildas. Now, the Matildas were a great team. All right? And I got nothing against, lesbians. I got, nothing against poofs. All right, just keep it over in your yard. Don't bring it into mine. It's as simple as that. Still believe there's only two genders, male and female, and that's probably about as far as it goes, all right? But what's happened with the Matildas soccer team is rampant. How do I put this without offending any lesos? Because I don't want to. So it's rampant. I'm cool because I'm a leso. Capers going on. Different chicks sleeping with different chicks in different motel rooms and all this, right? I know all this crap. I'm from soccer, guys, all right? I hear it. I know what's going on. I can pick it, all right? I've been following this team, and I've watched the last 3 games they played. I've got to make a confession. I've watched the last 3 games in the last 7 days that they have played, and they have been absolutely woeful. All right, okay. Now, we've got one chick who's causing trouble. She's one of our big strikers over there in England. You'll all know of her, all right? And she's in trouble over there for white racist speaking against a copper. Okay. So, and we haven't got the full squad in, but that doesn't matter. We went and played 3 sides that were good, and we are 2 sides that are very good, and we are very good. And we got hammered. And this guy's come out and spoken about it, and he's lost his job. Well, guess what? All right. Guess what? They were pitiful. They were terrible. That team can play so much better than that, but their mind's not in the game. I'm a soccer coach, all right? And it's all about management of this thing up here, the mind. How can you manage someone's mind when their mind's in turmoil about all other stuff? And again, where's all this come from, guys? I believe, not having to go at any lesbians, the synagogue of Satan. It comes down through, okay? And that's what we are dealing with. But I thought that was sheer gold, He just exited Triple M Wednesday evening, right? So Wide World of Sport were in on it, and they've dumped him, and it's because he bagged out the Matildas. Okay, well, guess what? They need bagging out, and that's just the way it is. Now, Trump administration may soon do a major scientific finding that has been the basis of hundreds of billions of government spending on climate change. So Trump may axe holy grail regulation that could spell global disaster. I tell you guys, he's pulled out of the WHO. He's going to chop these guys into 1,000 pieces. This is absolutely brilliant. Whenever you're ready, Cazza.
Our guests are having trouble coming in, but, that's to be expected, really. So, look, You just covered it a little bit, the who with Trump. Very interesting. So this is actually Swiss Info is reporting this, and they're saying that the WHO's global lab network faces collapse without new funding. Isn't that sad? No more biological experiments. Very sad.
Yeah, I got something here about 170 or 130, I think, Caz, biolabs that are going down, darling.
Well, look,
Something like that.
we've got heaps of news closer to home. Scotty Shallow Charles his handle, guys. Go follow him. He does excellent work. He's put this
Can I
together
correct
about the
myself?
energy.
760 labs they're taking down, guys. 760 friggin' labs they're taking out. Yes.
Unreal, isn't it? All right, let's have a look at this.
Heard about the residential efficiency scorecard that's about to be rolled out across Australia. I only found out about this yesterday, and I've gone down the rabbit hole, and by God, you are going to be absolutely stunned at what I'm about to tell you. Enter the residential efficiency scorecard, the latest bureaucratic weapon designed to punish homeowners, control the market, and make the banks even richer. Where did this thing come from, you ask? Well, it started as a pilot program in bloody Victoria because, of course, it had to, where all bad ideas are born and exported to the rest of the country. The same people who gave us skyrocketing power bills, lockdown lunacy and a bankrupt state economy have also decided that what Aussie homeowners really need is a fucking star rating for their places where they live. The place where you raise your kids, the place where future generations are developed. Now, on paper, it's all about energy efficiency and sustainability, which sounds great until you realise what this really is a financial and regulatory noose tightening around your neck. But let's break this thing down. It is a dream come true for the banks. Why? Because now they get to tie mortgage rates and loan approvals to government-mandated energy scores. If your house doesn't meet their green standard, well, guess what? You're not getting the fucking loan. You're going to be paying a higher interest rate if you do get the loan. You're getting rejected for loans. You'll have to borrow more just to upgrade to their new rules. And what's the easiest way to get a higher score? Demolish your home and build a new one, which, oh well, is such a coincidence because that means that the developers and the big builders will have to get involved and that the banks will lend more money for mortgages. This is going to make the housing crisis worse. And if you think it's hard enough to buy a home now, wait until all sellers start being penalised for their homes' low energy ratings.
Yep.
What happens then? Older, affordable homes lose value because they don't meet the new standards. Sellers have to sink thousands into renovations just to make their homes compliant. New homes, which are already outrageously expensive, become the only viable option.
Look, he goes on. It's bad.
Yeah,
it is so
bad. Yep.
Everything they are doing is against you. Everything in every aspect. They want you absolutely poor. You will earn nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yep. This is why this is so important. What we're pushing now, guys. We've got to come together, man. All right, because these guys are individually. They are just putting a wedge straight down between everyone, guys. All right, they are creating what you call psychological chaos in people's minds, all right, with all of this shit coming down on them. And then what do? They go outside. The first thing they react at is that neighbour who's got the fucking lawnmower going at 6 o'clock while he's trying to watch the Mockingbird media. You know what I mean? And next minute it's on, you know, and this is what they're trying to do to our society. They're trying to break it down mentally, psychologically, guys. This is their plan. All right, they do not care about you. The further they can drive you down into insanity, the more successful they have been. They are on. They are on at the moment.
Yeah, okay. Look, this is the video Dave's been talking about for a while. I'm just going to play part of it. The full one will be up on the website. Really worthwhile. It's 20 minutes long. We're just going to play a little bit of it about who's connected to who.
An imminent threat, yes. Your DNA is very valuable.
That data becomes incredibly relevant and very, very valuable. Data is absolutely going to be the new oil.
We are going to sequence every living thing on Earth. We are going to sequence everybody in the world.
In Australia, the Prime Minister's appointed key advisor on vaccine solutions is his National COVID-19 Coordination Commissioner, who is not a medical doctor, but a bureaucrat named Jane Halton. English-born Ms. Halton is or has been chairperson on the executive board of the Bill Gates-backed WHO. The chair of Gates-backed CEPI, the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations, which is also funded by Novavax, the company whose product has been given trialing permission in Australia. Director of French Naval Group Company involving Australian submarine contracts. Director of Crown Resorts with hotels used in quarantine schemes. Chair of Quarantine Hotel Fiasco Review involving Crown Hotels. Promoter of COVAX Facility and Alliance of Garvey, co-founded by Bill Gates, the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations, CEPI, and WHO to accelerate development and manufacture of COVID-19 vaccines. Halton is the bureaucrat who pushed the no jab, no play policy in May 2020 to deny access to all public social programs for those refusing experimental inoculation. In October 2019, she participated in the Event 201, a simulation of a global coronavirus pandemic a couple of months before most of the world knew it existed.
It is almost unheard of that people are producing product without having a forward commitment for the consumption of that product. So the first thing that needs to be done, because this is not something that the countries currently control, unless countries are going to bring about emergency situations and co-opt an existing supply chain.
Ms. Halton is or has been director of United States-based Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation, IH.
Look, we'll leave it there, but it goes on to show the relationship with Jane Halton, Brett Sutton, her husband, who is Brett Sutton's brother, and how they're all connected and they're all interrelated.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I just saw him pop in and he's gone again. Oh, well, that's all right. Look, counterspin media in New Zealand are experiencing some of the stuff that we've been talking about, and it's directly, they're being debanked.
Guys, the war on truth has again reached the doorstep of counterspin media. It is the third time now that we have been threatened to have a bank account shut down. Over the last 2 years, we have already had 2 shut down. This time it's Kiwi Bank who has sent me an email saying that I have 2 weeks to comply with their questions and to give them documents. All about you guys, basically. Anybody that has made a donation to this effort, they want to know why. And this apparently is, to foster a good banking relationship with them, apparently. But we all know what it is they want to shut down the truth. Now, does this have anything to do with the fact that over the last few days, counterspin media, along with pariah media, has continued to ask questions about what happened on March 15th, in 2019 here in Christchurch? It seems very coincidental. The timing is, it was yesterday they sent me this email. We have been looking into this for many, many years, and of course we've allegedly shared a link that we're now facing 14 years over. But, we know that the video is illegal here in New Zealand, so we don't have it and we won't share it with you. There are a lot of people overseas still looking into this whole incident, so there have been anomalies shown up demonstrating that that video could potentially actually have been created before the live stream went out. And
so, you know what she's talking about, don't you?
Fill us in. You've got the go down here.
Yeah, no, she's basically talking about the similar to what John Wilson said when he was talking about how he did a live, but he said, look, I can prove that I wasn't there because they have head fakes. They have the ability to CGI stuff now. So, which is really interesting. So, and they're getting threatened to basically be debanked. So, anyway.
The last thrashers of the deep state, they're swinging hard, guys.
Yeah, they do. They are indeed. Yeah. Guys, the Keep the Sheep campaign, they've been doing really excellent work. Talk about digital soldiers. Like, these guys are just farmers, and yet they've been putting out their videos consistently, and here's one of them.
Probably suffer. Shearers, shops, there'll be more seasonal work, like just tractor driving ahead of time. At the moment, the shearers get away with doing a bit, but if the sheep aren't going to be here, the merino flock, some of those boys that are only, in their 20s and 30s will probably end up in the mine.
That's right.
It's happening. They're breaking down the country, guys, and they're doing it with their fire ant stuff. And, that's going to be tomorrow night, a special at 8 o'clock. All right, we're going to have Carl on with us and a couple of people about the fire ants up there in Queensland. But, guys, they're coming at you. Your government, it loves you to death. What more can I say? Loves you to death.
Well, that's it. And remember how they published the hydroxychloroquine killed 17,000 COVID patients? Total lie. Total lie. It's actually been retracted. So unbelievable. And then we got more because now the Chinese warships. So they've re-entered our exclusive economic zone, about 300 k's from Hobart. Incredible. And it looks like they want to set up a permanent sort of practice base there, practice area. So my guess is what they're doing is that actually this is payback for us because we've been going into what they consider their territory. So, but who knows, and no wonder they can get away with it because this is the standard of our representatives. Okay, so Rory Amon has been committed to stand trial accused of multiple child sex offenders. Magistrate adjourned the case for an arraignment in the district court on March 28. Amon's bill was varied by consent to change his residential address. Now, he won the seat of Pittwater in Sydney last year as Shadow Minister for Youth Affairs.
Well, I got word in this morning that with those Chinese ships that there was also some subs with them carrying what are them subs shoot? Them things, torpedoes.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Well.
And I've got a picture of one on the beach, okay, at Gold Coast Beach. And if we can see, there it is, guys, laying on the beach at the Gold Coast.
Well, there you go.
So what is going on out there, eh? No holes in our boat yet. Torpedo missed.
It's interesting, very interesting. One of the big news stories for today is that Kalen Georgescu. So he won. So what happened was he ran on the ticket. He said that he was going to ban Soros from Romania. NATO have been building a base in Romania which borders Russia. Anyway, and he basically was pro-Russian and he did not want NATO to continue. So he won. So then they said, okay, well, you can't be president then. So on his way he was actually going to be interviewed on his way to put his papers in for the next election, okay, because for the presidential election, they arrested him. Okay, so the crowd did this.
Dai la 3 linii în dreapta.
Now, I believe that they're demanding his release, okay, and they actually capitulated.
Evoluție. Eram copil în clasa a 3-a, însă la puține ani după ne-am dat cu toții seama.
Iată-l pe Călin Georgescu, dați la full imaginile, mulțumesc frumos.
So they capitulated, which is crazy.
Well, this is what the Australian people need to wake up and actually see. But I do hear, Caz, that the conversation everywhere is about what's going on. That from pubs to hairdressers, all right, to shops, fronts, and markets, and the conversation is on in Australia. So. And if you watch our Wanzi show today, Brad's quite adamant about it's a lot quite quicker, a lot closer than what we think, guys. This big reveal. So,
Well, yeah, let's hope so, because let's hope so. All right, now this
It would
is
be good.
SG has done a breakdown on the real reason for the Ukraine. It's actually really quite good.
Since the start of the full-scale conflict with Russia, Vladimir Zelensky was at the center of several scandals. Today we reveal the truth about the regime that has turned Ukraine into a testing ground for crimes against humanity. Since 2022, the blood of hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians has been exported daily to European countries, allowing Zelensky and his proxies to reap hundreds of millions of dollars in illicit profits. Zelensky's administration initiated a set of emergency measures to save the gene pool of the Ukrainian nation. Using inhumane and Nazi methods, Zelensky launched the world's largest campaign to kidnap and forcibly impregnate Ukrainian women. One of the reasons for the demographic crisis mentioned above is the growth of the slave trade in Ukraine, which has been recorded since the first years of Zelensky's rule. The turnover of Zelensky's illegal human trafficking business reaches $2.5 billion a year, which is already comparable to drug trafficking. Another source of income for Zelensky and his entourage is trafficking in human organs through the Consulate General of Ukraine in Naples. Experts estimate that every 6th Ukrainian orphan child is forcibly exported to Italy and resold for organs. Sale of organs of underage Ukrainian children to the Italian mafia brings the Ukrainian state more than 60 million euros a year. In 2025, it became known about the existence of the secret syndicate Ambrosia in Ukraine, which is a scheme of forced abduction and sale of embryos of unborn Ukrainian children for the subsequent production of drugs based on stem cells. The amounts of supplies run into tens of millions of euros, and Ambrosia's clients include high-ranking politicians from all over Europe. Ukrainian military and political establishment have begun to resort to occult rituals and sacrifices. The Moloch cult, created by Zelensky, is trying to hold on to power and gain some progress on the battlefield by resorting to the help of supernatural satanic forces through human sacrifices. Presumably, the brutal killing of civilians by the AFU in the village of Rostoportnoye in the Sujan district of Kursk region is part of the Moloch cult ritual. The Foundation to Battle Injustice appeals to all authorized international institutions to conduct an international, independent, and impartial investigation into the facts presented.
That's coming out.
It's all Russia. You look at our mainstream media. It's Russia. How dare they treat Ukraine like that? Oh.
Well, we've got more big bangs as well. It's all coming out. You know, we've got Pam Bondi coming out next week.
Human trafficking is a multi-billion-dollar business in this country, and Jeffrey Epstein is dead, and Ghislaine Maxwell is in.
Sorry, that was me. I accidentally deleted it. And she goes on to say that, that they'll be releasing some of the files. Everyone's excited. No, it's not. It's just partial. It's just some of the files, okay? So what happens for people that don't know is they cannot release them on day one, even though that's what they run on. Okay, there's a process that has to be followed. It has to go to committee. Committee has to see what needs to be redacted and that sort of stuff, and then it needs to be approved, and then it goes back to her. So, but apparently some partial is going to be released released tomorrow.
So in other words, it runs through some hands of the synagogue of Satan before it comes back to be released from to the media.
Yes, that's it. And we also have some really interesting news as far as the whole Doge thing goes. It's very interesting because so Paul Klaus here, he must be going through an absolute meltdown because they've blocked $52 million payment going to the World Economic Forum. Yeah. So he must be very unhappy about that. And they
are very, very unhappy, Caz. They are
very unhappy.
They're not happy at all.
And you've also got this interesting thing. Now, I just put this in because it's so interesting. Like, they're always tied to some society to help children. That's how they get access to it. So this is Claire Hazel, married to Edward Guinness, the 4th Earl of Iveagh, making her Lady Claire Hazel Iveagh, and she's made 32 trips on Epstein's private plane. So now, and she heads the West Branch. She's president of the National Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children.
Yeah, but they were short an air hostess, that's all, and she was used to do that in a previous life. So she was just being a friend and, like, you know, doing the trips for him. I mean, 32 of them. I mean, yeah, what else would she be doing?
Well, that's it. So now another interesting thing, this is how we know we're winning, and you're seeing stories like this all the time. We covered it a bit the other day, but the police in Arizona have announced the arrest of hundreds of individuals in connection to the child trafficking operation that allowed predators to purchase children for sex. So we're seeing so much more of this now.
Yeah, and when the general public wake up to what is going on, and I think they're going to get all this information. This information is going to come out, Caz, about what they've been doing to our children, Ukraine, Russia, 9/11. Okay, all these things are going to come out, guys. All right, and the people are not going to be happy. The sheeple. Okay, they won't be happy. All right, you and I, well, we're just hanging out. We're pissed off right now because we were getting redacted files when we were told we're going to get real files. Now we're getting redacted files. Well, I'm not happy neither, you bunch of slugs. You know, give us all the friggin' files. That's you too, Elon. If you're doing that, you wanker. You know what wanker is in Australia? You don't do it, obviously. You got 15 kids, but yeah, it's a part, you know, anyway, we won't go there. But friggin' hell, give us what we want, Elon. Wank. There you go.
All right. General Flynn, he has come out hitting hard at Comey.
Had to fight through this, and it was not easy, but we were able to stand our ground. We figured out a way out of it. My case was dismissed by the government, by the Department of Justice, and what they should have done was they should have killed me there, Jim, and I know that they considered it. And so by not doing that, they picked the wrong family to mess with. And I'm going to tell you, we are so tied into the government, particularly the government right now.
You said that James Comey should have killed you. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I mean it. I mean, these people, I know that they talk about these things. So there's a group of people that talk, they discuss this because it's like, what do we want to do? We can destroy this guy. And then all of a sudden I start to fight back. We started to fight back, and I completely changed my whole I changed my legal team. I changed our strategy, huge gamble. And we started to fight back. And when we did, we started winning. And then we eventually won. And I know that there are conversations, and primarily outside of the government, that says, what do we want to do about a guy like Flynn? What do they want to do about a guy like Trump? They tried to kill him twice. He's as a candidate. I mean, his life is always at risk. Those of us that are on the periphery, and not on the, it's sort of in a right in that outer circle periphery. And I'm not talking about way out on the edges. I'm talking about right there at the edge of that sort of inner circle where we're still in there fighting it, mixing it up. These people they're scrambling. I mean, they know that they are busted. They're caught badly. Comey, he's just the beginning.
That's a pretty ominous warning. And it's really interesting because there's a dual approach to this. I don't know if you've seen this. Maybe you've thought it. Maybe it's because it's obvious when you actually think about it. So there's this military operation going on in the background, but there's also this dual operation of civil operation going on in the foreground, and everything seems to be being done lawfully. And when you actually look at it, see, Alex Jones did a take on the Supreme Court ruling, and so have a listen to this one.
Article 2 of the U.S. Constitution is clear. Everything comes from the
enough, we should bring that in.
100% constitutional.
I actually made a phone call.
The Supreme Court just ruled 1 hour ago that Trump can freeze all the foreign aid. The deep state's in big trouble, folks. We took America back. They're planting some false flags. They're super dangerous, but they're exposed, and they have been defending all this waste, fraud, and abuse. They have fallen right in our hands because America is now awake. This is a historic moment. Supreme Court rules in favor of President Trump, freezing all the foreign aid that goes to the CIA. They're using to start World War III and push open borders and human trafficking, everything else. This is a real revolution, and I'm so proud to be part of it. God bless you all. Follow me on the next latest developments at Real Alex Jones. Thank you so much.
Now, Alex hasn't gotten into the military operations at all, the Q stuff. He's always thought it was like Operation Trust, the Russian operation, so that people didn't do anything because the military were going to come to the rescue, okay? But he's always followed it, the foreground stuff. He's the stuff that we see, what he can prove, and that sort of stuff.
Is that because Owen, his little boy, is a 32nd degree Scottish Rite Freemason?
I haven't heard that.
Yeah, I've seen him admit it. But anyway, let's move on. Yeah.
All right. So, but here's the thing is that, so for Alex to come out really positive and like think of this as though the deep state is done, it is absolutely done, because Alex is always, oh, they're going to come and get us. They're going to come and get us. They're going to come and get us. Yeah, so they, I'm wondering if we're kind of in mopping up operations or whatever it is that, but anyway, things are looking really good, but better for the United States, and that's because of the $1 million card, which we're going to play in a minute, but $5 million card. But before that, did you want to say something on that?
Yeah, play the card, then we'll get into it. Yeah, no, look,
$5 million bucks.
Yeah,
this is brilliant.
Just claimed that the United States is going to start selling gold cards for $5 million that people can buy and then come into the United States legally.
Just some quick food for thought for anyone who's against this program. Currently in the world today, there are 22 million millionaires. Now, if only a third of them wanted to become American citizens, that money would completely pay off the national debt. Like, just wipe it out, completely gone. We'd pay off the national debt and it would cost the American people zero. Not to mention, since everyone who pays that $5 million has to create a minimum of 5 new jobs, that would create at least 35 million new jobs for Americans. So foreign millionaires using foreign money pay off our national debt. We get 35 million new jobs. It costs the American people nothing, and the millionaires get a green card out of it. Yeah, sounds good to me.
Where do I apply?
You need $5 million.
Oh, okay. You had to bring me down, didn't you?
Well, sorry.
Hang on. I'll give them a what's that thing called? The old payment by, what is it, BEO or whatever it is? Yeah, we'll pay by that. Anyway, I'll take it out of my trust. I got $5 million in there.
You probably do. Okay, now the stats and the figures of people who actually love what Doge is doing is really quite incredible, which you would guess it would be. But it's, yeah, so the blue bits are basically, so for here, the first one is, do you think the government expenditure is basically fair? So you've got the blue bits are the Democrats and the red bits are the Republicans. But it's overwhelming, and this is actually Harvard Cap's poll. So very interesting. So it says down the bottom here, do you think the so-called Department of Government Efficiency, led by Elon, is making a major cuts in government expenditure? Yes or no? Making major cuts? Yes. So people are really, really happy about it. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, if I got to go back into the concrete business to supply the boots, guys, guess what? As long as it's all legit and above board, you got me. You got me.
That's it. Now, one thing that we didn't cover last night, but I really wanted to cover it tonight, was that a 66-year-old man was arrested in his home in the UK for basically for saying how bad Keir Starmer is, for making a negative comment about Keir Starmer. But this is what's going on across Europe, because it's happening in Belgium too. It's almost identical, and it's going to come here.
I was just interrogated by police for a criminal investigation into a meme that was posted 4 years ago. And if you think that's crazy, in 2 days I must appear in front of the Court of Appeals for another case about memes that were posted 8 years ago by others in a private group chat. I face multiple years in jail for racist memes that I didn't even post myself. And to know that 10 kilometers from here in Brussels, migrant gangs shoot and kill people with weapons of war on a daily basis, but literally none of them get arrested or jailed.
What do you say to that?
Exactly.
No words. No. You know, the world's upside down. The world is just upside down, guys. It's just everything is like our food pyramid. flip it upside down, put the big bit of the pyramid at the top and the little bit at the bottom and start eating that way. But don't start eating the shit they're supplying you. It'll kill you.
No, that's exactly right. The UK has got a very weird statue. It's a demon, and it's in the centre of London. Have a look at this.
Understand, this is London. It's the city where this, a mutilated headless demon, stands tall, casting its shadow over the capital as if to say, this is what London represents now. By Damien Hirst of all people. It turns out this is called Demon and the Bowl. He's holding a bowl. This is a demon, and it's apparently a Mesopotamian demon. What do you guys think of this art? The Night Dragon own this area. What kind of group are the Night Dragon? Why are we pushing garbage like this?
To glamorize all manner of degeneracy in the media in a concentrated effort to make the population into mindless sheep.
London has paid for this monstrosity to be next to the cable cars. Cable cars just there. Why are we subjecting or pushing demons? Think about this. Is the demon walking towards City Hall, which is on the other side? Why would the leaders of this great city choose this as a symbol? A demon holding a bowl as if offering its own grotesque form to the heavens. Or maybe it's to something much darker. This isn't art. This is a statement that the heritage of London, the rich culture and history that built this city, is being erased.
Wow.
They don't even hide it. When we say we're in a spiritual war.
Over that. Yeah, that just, fits in with, wow. Yeah, if you think it is a spiritual, guys, think again. Okay. The devil is out to attack your family. The devil is out to attack you. The devil is out to attack everything that God made. All right, and I think he's starting to learn it, okay? I really do. We need to come together, people. We really need to come together because coming together is the only way that we're going to stop this tyranny.
We're being taken out by Conspiracy Guru. The song is Lies. So if you would like to wrap up and close the show, I shall hit play.
Okay, so we had this outro on the show I done with Brad Wozny. I keep getting his name wrong and people don't like it. I'm dyslexic, guys, seriously. Yeah, once something's gone into my head and it's been said enough times, it doesn't change, okay? So, yeah, to me it's Wonzy. Brad don't give two shits, all right, because me and Brad are good mates. But anyway, yeah, we spoke about that show there today, Caz, about some imaginary, analogies, you know what I mean, that we were using. We started at Waimea Bay and now we're actually waiting for a bus. You know what I mean? So if that intrigues you guys, how we got from Waimea Bay to a bus stop, go and watch that show, 45 minutes, and you'll find out how me and Brad got there on that trip of ours. As for tonight, guys, we didn't get the people in that we were meant to get in. Okay, we will do a reshuffle, but tomorrow night we have got a special going on at 8 o'clock. Okay, now we were supposed to have SG today, guys, but a couple of days ago we got word to say that he wouldn't be doing very many or any more podcasts. So I don't know what's going on there. We'll recontact him. I'll contact him instead of Mel and just see what's going on there. But that's a word from SG. Special tomorrow night. We've also got one of the lads, one of my mates, Greeny, from down in Victoria, who's going to come on. So I don't know how I'm going to shuffle this, guys, but it looks like I've got maybe Greeny tomorrow night. But we have to get these two guests from tonight that are to do with the witness statement back on. So if I do that tomorrow, I may do that, guys, and it may be just a 15, 20-minute thing that we can bang out around the internet for us, okay? So maybe if that works for these people, we might just do a 15, 20-minute because that's what it was just going to be tonight. So let's just see what happens. It doesn't matter. As long as it all gets out there, it'll work out. Thank you again for everyone's, attention, everyone that's getting hold of me to try and help me with this this thing that I'm going through, guys. I love you all, and I thank you for it all. It's getting a little bit like, yeah, wow, where do you go? You know what I mean? Well, I'm going with God, and that's all I can do, guys, okay? So pray for me. That's what I do need. Okay. And yeah, obviously, all help taken. So don't let the mainstream media keep lying to you guys. And for you newbies to the show on the Dave Graham channel, etc., that are starting to click in and wonder what Davo's named Guru for now and what's he been spruiking on about for the last 5 years, this is what I think about your mainstream media, and I can prove it. Good night, people.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. The man with the suit and the tie looks me dead in the eye, and he lies. Yeah, he lies. Then the woman with the makeup and the blouse beams right into my house, and she lies. Yeah, she lies. The man wants me to be scared. The man making me see red, 'cause I know that he lies. Yeah, he lies. Then the woman with the beautiful eyes is no longer beautiful, because I realize that she lies. Yeah, she lies. Well, you ain't welcome round here no more. Been down this road too many times before. This the last time you ever cast your spell. You fooled me once, so shame on you. Won't fool me twice, 'cause I see right through the oh so many lies you always tell. From the north to the east, to the west to the south, you cover much ground with your filthy mouth and your lies. Yeah, your lies. You lie so much you believe yourself. The day you tell the truth will be a cold day in hell. I despise all those lies. You ain't welcome round here no more. Been down this road too many times before. This the last time you ever cast your spell. You fooled me once, so shame on you. Won't fool me twice, 'cause I see right through the oh so many lies you always tell. People see what you do with your plastic smiles and your auto cues and those lies. Yeah, those lies. How much longer can you hide the truth? When this lion wakes, it's gonna eat you and your lies. Yeah, your lies. You ain't welcome round here no more. Been down this road too many times before. This the last time you ever cast your spell. You fooled me once, so shame on you. Won't fool me twice, 'cause I see right through the so many lies you always tell. Man with the suit and the tie looks me right dead in the eye, and he lies. Yeah, he lied.